Apple, Beats. Names synonymous with innovation, style, and a certain brand of cool. These tech giants have infiltrated our lives, shaping how we consume music, connect with others, and even perceive ourselves. Their sleek devices, from iPhones to AirPods, have become ubiquitous, status symbols in a world increasingly driven by digital consumption. But behind the polished exteriors and carefully crafted marketing campaigns lies a more complex reality, one that raises critical questions about the true cost of our insatiable appetite for the latest and greatest tech. This is not just a story about Apple and Beats. It is a story about the tech industry as a whole, a sector that has reshaped our world at a breakneck pace, often with little regard for the ethical implications. Apple's success is not solely based on technological prowess. It is a triumph of branding, a testament to the power of marketing to shape our desires and aspirations. Apple has masterfully cultivated an image of exclusivity, innovation, and sleek minimalism, transforming its products into objects of desire. This carefully crafted image has allowed Apple to command premium prices for its products, far exceeding those of its competitors. Consumers, it seems, are willing to pay a premium for the privilege of owning an Apple device, a testament to the power of branding to influence our purchasing decisions. This brand loyalty, bordering on fanaticism for some, has created a global phenomenon, with millions eagerly anticipating each new product release. But this allure comes at a cost. The high prices we pay for Apple products are not merely a reflection of superior technology or design. They are also a product of the company's relentless pursuit of profit maximization, a strategy that hinges on minimizing production costs while maximizing retail prices. As consumers, we must become more discerning, looking beyond the shiny veneer of marketing and critically evaluating the value proposition of these devices. Beats, acquired by Apple in 2014 for a cool $3 billion, has followed a similar trajectory, albeit with a different target market. While Apple has cultivated an image of sleek sophistication, Beats has positioned itself as the epitome of cool, targeting a younger, more style-conscious demographic. Through savvy marketing campaigns featuring high-profile athletes and musicians, Beats has successfully aligned its brand with youth culture, music, and urban fashion. This strategic branding has allowed Beats to command premium prices for its headphones and speakers, despite often using components similar to those found in less expensive brands. Consumers are willing to pay a premium for the association with coolness and trendiness, demonstrating the power of marketing to influence our perceptions of value. However, this focus on branding and marketing often overshadows the ethical concerns surrounding Beats' production practices. As consumers, we must demand greater transparency from companies like Beats, pushing them to disclose more information about their supply chains and labor practices. Apple's financial success is undeniable. The company consistently reports staggering profit margins, far exceeding those of its competitors. In 2023, for example, Apple's gross margin hovered around 43%, indicating that for every $100 iPhone sold, $43 was pure profit after accounting for production costs. These impressive figures are a testament to Apple's ability to command premium prices, optimize its supply chain, and leverage its brand power to maximize profitability. However, these high profit margins also raise ethical questions about the distribution of wealth within the tech industry. While Apple's executives and shareholders reap the rewards of the company's success, workers further down the supply chain often toil in precarious conditions for meager wages. This stark contrast highlights the growing inequality within the tech sector and the urgent need for a more equitable distribution of the industry's vast wealth. As consumers, we must demand greater transparency from Apple regarding its pricing practices, profit margins, and the environmental impact of its products. The sleek devices that have become ubiquitous in our lives are not magically conjured in Cupertino or Los Angeles. They are the product of a complex and often opaque global supply chain, with manufacturing often outsourced to factories in countries with lower labor costs and weaker environmental regulations. This reliance on globalized production has allowed tech companies like Apple and Beats to minimize production costs and maximize profits. But it has also led to widespread concerns about worker exploitation and human rights abuses. Reports from factories in China, where a significant portion of Apple's products are assembled, paint a grim picture of the conditions faced by many workers. Long hours, low wages, and unsafe working conditions are commonplace. Workers often face pressure to meet demanding production quotas, leading to exhaustion, injuries, and even fatalities. Moreover, workers are often housed in cramped and unsanitary dormitories, further eroding their quality of life. These exploitative labor practices are not limited to Apple or Beats. They are systemic issues within the tech industry, driven by a relentless pursuit of profit maximization. The global nature of these supply chains makes it difficult to monitor and enforce labor standards, allowing companies to distance themselves from the human cost of their products. As consumers, we must demand greater transparency and accountability from tech companies, pushing them to ensure fair and ethical treatment of workers throughout their supply chains. The stark contrast between the gleaming headquarters of Apple in Cupertino, California, and the often harsh realities of its supplier factories in Shenzhen, China, illustrates the deep-seated inequalities inherent in the globalized tech industry. While Apple executives enjoy multi-million-dollar salaries and stock options, workers in Shenzhen often struggle to make ends meet on meager wages, trapped in a cycle of poverty and exploitation. This geographic and economic disparity is a microcosm of a broader trend of global inequality, where the benefits of technological innovation are often concentrated in the hands of a select few, while the costs are borne by the most vulnerable. This system of uneven development raises fundamental questions about the ethical responsibilities of multinational corporations operating in a globalized world. Moreover, the lack of transparency within these global supply chains makes it difficult to track the flow of profits and ensure that workers are receiving a fair share of the value they create. Breaking this cycle of inequality requires a multi-pronged approach, including stricter labor and environmental regulations and greater transparency from companies. As consumers, we are faced with an ethical dilemma. We are bombarded with messages that equate technological innovation with progress, convenience, and even social status. We are seduced by the allure of sleek devices, promising to enhance our lives in countless ways. Yet, we are increasingly aware of the hidden costs of our tech consumption, the exploitation of workers, the depletion of natural resources, and the widening gap between the haves and have-nots. Can we, in good conscience, continue to indulge in our tech desires, knowing that our consumption comes at a high cost to others and to the planet? Is it possible to reconcile our love of technology with our ethical obligations to our fellow human beings and to the environment? The truth likely lies somewhere in between, requiring a combination of individual action and collective effort to create a more just and sustainable tech industry. Our fascination with brands like Apple and Beats often blinds us to the larger implications of our tech consumption. We become fixated on the latest iPhone or the coolest pair of headphones, losing sight of the fact that these devices are merely tools, extensions of ourselves, rather than ends in themselves. We must move beyond the allure of the brand and engage in a more critical examination of our relationship with technology. What is the purpose of technology? Is it to enhance our lives, connect us with others, and drive innovation? Or is it to fuel corporate profits, perpetuate a cycle of consumerism, and distract us from the more meaningful aspects of human existence? We must resist the urge to view technology as a panacea, a solution to all of life's problems. By rethinking our relationship with technology, we can begin to use it in more mindful and intentional ways. As consumers, we wield immense power. Our purchasing decisions have the ability to make or break companies, influence industry trends, and shape the world around us. We must recognize this power and use it responsibly, demanding greater transparency, accountability, and ethical practices from the companies we support. This requires us to become more conscious consumers, educating ourselves about the products we buy, the companies we support, and the impact our consumption has on the world. Fortunately, there are resources available to help us make more informed choices. By supporting ethical alternatives, we can send a powerful message to the tech industry that consumers are no longer willing to turn a blind eye to exploitation and environmental degradation. The tech industry stands at a crossroads. It has the potential to drive innovation, connect people across borders, and solve some of the world's most pressing problems. However, it also has the capacity to exacerbate inequality, exploit workers, and accelerate environmental degradation. The path we choose will have profound implications for the future of humanity and the planet. Creating a more equitable and sustainable tech industry requires a fundamental shift in our thinking. We must move beyond the pursuit of profit maximization at all costs and embrace a more holistic approach that values people and the planet alongside profit. The future of technology is not predetermined. It is a future that we are actively creating through our choices, our actions, and our demands. By working together, we can harness the power of technology to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for all.